Hello, my name is Caleb Plett, and I was in the practical ministry course at Gettysburg Foursquare Church. This is a kind of like a final project. Supposed to be a 5-minute video. It's kind of like a reflection. What did I learn? What ministry did I do? And what experience did I gain? Reflection on your personal growth and the full range of ministry experiences throughout the semester. Over the course of this semester, personally, I've grown a lot. My spiritual life has grown. I've grown closer to God, closer to Jesus. Kind of found more of an identity in myself, but my identity through Jesus. I learned to fall in love with Jesus, and truly follow His word and know what His word is in my life. My ministry experiences throughout this semester, I mean, it went, ranged from, greeting at church and serving in youth group, serving kids ministry. What else did I do? I set up, tear down for things, church in the park, things, so many different kinds of things I was able to, in ministry experiences I was able to gain. I got to learn under, the lead pastor at our church. I got to learn under the executive pastor, the youth pastor, kids directors, event planners, coordinators, communications, AVL. I learned how to, use a little camera and monitor audio, things like that. Being able to serve in so many different areas of the church, and what really takes place on a Sunday, what really takes place on a Wednesday night before youth group, what really takes place on a weekend event. That was definitely some invaluable training I got there. Excuse me. Description of the types of ministry opportunities you engaged in with attention to how these experiences might apply in non-traditional ministry contexts. So, like I said, I was able to serve in youth a lot. That was kind of my main focus this semester, and going forward it will be. And I think learning how to deal with youth can be really valuable because you can deal in a school setting. You can if you're ever called upon to work in a high school or a middle school or something along those lines, like you learn how to connect with youth. And even more than that, I think if you can connect with youth, you can connect with people, because the youth are people. And so learning how to deal with them even when they're in these high emotional states, and I say deal with them, is really just like, how can I regulate this? Like, how can I pour into this person's life? It teaches you something about people, and then you can pour into the people around you's lives better. Talking about, we can go as simple as AVL and audio-visual lighting. That's good to know. I have dreams of working in a church one day. Lord willing. I have dreams of leading my own congregation in a way, and just getting well versed and well rounded, like that's an invaluable experience. And then even in a non-traditional way, event down the road that they need somebody to do lights, somebody to do cameras, that's something I'm now trained on. I now know. Analysis of why ministry outside of the traditional church is vital in today's world, supported by at least 2 scriptural references. So when you take ministry outside of the traditional church, and you're going out into the real world, not everything exists in the walls of church. I mean, if that was ministry, then there would be no ministry. If you were just ministering to those who knew Jesus, there'd be no ministry. So I think some verses you can point to for this are Matthew 28:19 through 20. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. That right there is that's a command from Jesus to go out into the world and to take your ministry not from church, not just in church, but to take it elsewhere. I think you can also look at Acts 1:8. You will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in all of Judea and Samaria, and to the end of the earth. That's it. Another command to take the ministry not here but out. And so I think I think if you only had a doctor's office that was open to the healthy, then what would you do with the sick? What would you do with the people who never heard? Take your ministry into your schools. Take your ministry into the churches. I mean, into the workplace. Take your ministry into your buddy's house who may not be saved. Your life is your ministry. we read some really good books this semester. Analog Church was all about, you know, the digital age and what the implications that will have on church, um, and what true connection is. I think that ties in really nicely to taking your ministry out. That's forming connection with others, and even in the church, but out the church, you want to form connection. We're talking about um, primal fire. It's a fire we all have inside of us for ministry. And are you going to fan that? Where is the smoke, the fruits of that? And are you going to fan that? I think the fruits of that, which they would say the smoke, would be how you act outside the church. That's the fruit, is when you go outside the church. Um, Talking about head, heart, hands is different avenues of ministry. And some people lead from a place of their head. Some people lead from a place of their heart. Some people are all about their hands. Whether you're doing, feeling, thinking, like whatever that is, that's something to track down so you know what is my ministry going to look like. So I think, you know, the readings really provide a good insight into that. We have some biblical scripture there as well. I was very blessed this semester to get to serve in so many places. I'm really excited for next semester to do the same. I had some really great people who taught me and led me, and were truly leading and not just teaching. Like, they were leading me spiritually. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you for listening, and